I almost feel like I know them almost personally. And in fact, I do chat with some of them, and give them some advice and get some advice offline, different times, right? So that's the sort of group I like. We've got some suggestions for you, Fred. These groups are bloody hard work. People don't realise how much goes into this sort of stuff, and it's a thankless sort of task. You don't get any pats on the back for it. I think you should steal some of Peter's ideas. One, I have a lot of trouble. I'm a bit of a dummy. I have a lot of trouble, mate, with time zones. You get ESTs and PHs and oh, mate. I'll show you something. I'll just move my camera around. Let me see if I can see it. It's pretty bad. See up on the wall? Can you see?
Yeah,
it's
the clocks.
See all my clocks? I've got 5 fucking clocks because I got the shits, and I've got these 5 clocks, and I'm still work in progress. I used to have it at my office. We're going to have like London, so I know the different. I can look up at the wall and go, oh, don't try and talk to that guy now because he's asleep. Yeah.
Yep.
So I think if you were to put something like Peter's guy, just change the picture. He's got that guy with all the wristwatches, yeah, and the different time zones. If you picked out the ones where your members are, I would suggest to you that I would think a third of your members are probably in the States, and pick out their time zone so they've got an idea what time it is. Because I have trouble. Like I've missed the last 3 or 4. Once again, time zones and the other thing I don't get. And I don't know whether you do it or not, I don't ever get an email because I'm a dummy. I told you I'm busy, and people don't realise. They say, "Oh, it was on Facebook." No, I'm not on Facebook. I'm on my emails. I can show you my screen. You would not believe it until I showed it to you. I've got 282,000 emails at the moment.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm in that platform all the time. It's my preferred platform. Then there's Facebook, then there's LinkedIn, and I can go on and on. So I suggest if you could put up something like that and it's going to be hard work again for you, say 6 or 7 time zones, and say it'll be on for you, Mickey Mouse in America at 4 a.m. and for Michael it'll be 2 a.m. in London, whatever. Yeah.
No, great advice. I mean, I haven't sent out emails. And that's one of the things that's in the works at the moment.
Yeah, the email would
do that.
because that's like I say, I'd come and support you because I know it's so few at the moment. That's why I'm here today to give a bit of support. The fact that I missed the last 4 tells a story. And I had a funny one.
No, I'll take your point.
I had a funny one today. I'll show you off later on. We can have a chat another time if you want. And I'll give you a screenshot. I had one of your posts come up somewhere, either from you or the group, and it said like a time zone, and it was actually 2 o'clock in the afternoon here, which was probably 5 o'clock in Melbourne, right? Roughly. What's the time now in Melbourne, by the way?
It's 8:20 p.m.
Oh, fair enough. It's 5. Yeah, it's 3-hour difference. Yeah. So it virtually said the show was on at 5 o'clock, and it was 2 o'clock, and I was going looking for it, and of course no one let me in because it probably was nothing.
Yep. Yep.
But I got a notification that there was. That's what I'm saying to you. So it's going a bit skew with as these things do. So the email would be huge because some people ignore me and they go, "That's bullshit." I go, "No, it's not bullshit," because the bottom line is you want eyeballs.
Absolutely. And no, we don't. I mean, it only works if we get more people in.
Absolutely.
But that's my focus and will be my focus. The other thing I am doing is text messaging. So we're adding that to the list as well. So we just
I think email's the big one because I think so many people are on an email, and in many cases their email will ping as well. Like ping, and then it'll get their attention. So just my thoughts for what it's worth.
No, worth a lot. I really appreciate, and that's really what I'm after is just to get constructive feedback. So it's really good.
Yeah. The other thing I see groups very quickly. I see groups that hard work like Peter. There's another guy I just got off of a group to come to this one, right? And that was a guy are you familiar with Nick Cree?
Yeah, I am. Yeah. Nick does some really good work. Yeah.
Nick does fantastic work, but the trouble is it clashed with your one. So I had to leave Nick because Nick started at 4 o'clock your time or whatever. 4 o'clock, sorry, my time, which is 6 p.m. Sorry, 6 p.m. Brisbane time, and it clashed. So I had to get off of Nick to come over to here, right? But what I'm saying is, Nick, for all his hard work with his 3 VAs doing it, and he sends out memos and God knows what, mate. You know, you can't miss it, right? And he goes on Facebook, does a live on the morning. Hi, I'll be on the air today. Blah blah blah. And after all that, Nick only gets probably 25 people. So that's bloody hard work, mate. And I'm pissed off with that because, as we all know, there are action takers and there are lurkers. And the trouble with these bloody lurkers is they don't bloody contribute anything. They piss me off. They do, really.
Yep. Yeah, no, I get it. So, Ray.
Yeah.
So I'll get back to the question, but
I can remember the question.
Okay, I'll let you go then. Go ahead. All up to you.
I do somewhere between 8 and 10 meetings, and then I'll go through spasms of the one-on-ones because they take up the time as well. And so I will this week's been a bit slack with regard to one-on-ones. Last week was fairly busy, and so I'm still picking my meetings. Sometimes I go there as an experiment. I'll give it 3 or 4 weeks and just see what the gut feeling's telling me from there. But how I decide often depends on the atmosphere of the day. If it's nice and friendly, I'll stick around. If it's something that's cold, like I was at a B&I meeting last week, invited to that, and it was as clinical as I thought I was on the surgery table, you know, and it was totally clinical. And I never saw, the only faces I saw were the woman who was running the show, and if it was your turn to speak, Jeff, that's all I saw. I didn't see Sally or Fred or the next guy, you know, and so it was just cold air. So it's got to be warm, friendly, and some fun, you know, because often when you go in these rooms, you can often strike the same people that you were in the room before, you know, and I've had that. So they ended up being nice, good social chats. And get to know a little bit more about the other person on the screen as well, you know. So so that's how I wing it. Go on my gut feeling, Fred. You know, what's working, what's not working, and I'm still experimenting with regard to which ones I go to from that aspect. So that's it from him.
Thanks, mate.
Freezes to death.
Yeah, I'm obviously jumping into as many networking meetings as I can at the moment because I'm trying to move people out of those networking meetings into this one. So, but that's a concerted effort. It's not where I intend to be in, say, 4 or 5 months' time. So I'll be picking the meetings that I'll be going into as well. But the other question I've got is that when we go into the meetings, a lot of the meetings encourage everybody to jump on one-on-ones. Like you get in contact with other people. So my question is that how do you decide who you're going to invite to a one-on-one and who you're not going to invite? Or do you just connect with everybody that's attending? Do you just put the feelers out and invite everybody to jump on a one-on-one with you? Or do you actually listen to what they have to say and make that decision based on what they're promoting or how they're communicating in the meeting and just say, okay, I like the way they're speaking, I'm going to reach out to them? Or do you just go with, I'm going through the list and I'll just invite everybody to a one-on-one? So, Sally.
Yep.
Now, is that about you contacting, how you choose your one-on-ones?
How you choose your one-on-ones, yeah.
I'm going to be perfectly honest, through all the networking I'm doing, everyone's coming to me, particularly through LinkedIn. And I haven't even, it's been such a long time since I've had to approach someone else. So it's just through the, maybe because I'm a co-host, I'm not sure, but yeah, it's hard because they're all in, it's just interesting. And that's why I try to turn it into a recording because like at the moment, if you look at my list, I've just gone through it today, I've got about 8 follow-ups and it's just like shit, trying to pick them in. And I actually just renumbered the things that I turn up to, it's more than 17 a week. That's including 2 to 3 one-to-ones at the moment. And yeah.
So
Yeah.
do you accept, like, if somebody reaches out through LinkedIn and asks for a one-to-one, do you select every one of them or accept every one of them?
I am, but slowly. And I just say to them, look, it's going to be a little while because I've just got a lot on and I just have to balance my time. I'm just honest. So like now I'm booking them in for 3 weeks, 4 weeks time. And some of them have been months, but you know, it's just to balance that time because it is so draining. And yes, you want to grow it. And yes, I am interested, but then I become quite resentful when I'm tired and exhausted. A bit like today. I'm sitting in this chair since 8 and I literally have another one right now to go to, but I think balance is the key because I know you, and I'm the same, trying to build your network, trying to build your business, but at the same time, it has to be fun. Like Ray says, everything has to be fun. Otherwise, what's the frigging point?
Yep. Yeah. I get the same. But when you look at it, like even with the way you're scheduling your one-on-ones now, are you being selective or are you just putting them in sequentially as they come in? Or are you saying, I want to talk to this person first?
Yeah, if it's not a match for what I'm doing, or if it's like there's a lot of network marketers, which is fine, and I'm not in the business of taking that on. I have selected a couple and tried the products, but I don't want to go down that line, so I just sort of push them back a little bit more and just make it a half hour. So, because you know they've all got a story about how they got into that anyway. So it help them heal. So that's why I get interested in that one. But I'm unfortunately I'm going to have to jump off because I've got the next one at 8:30. And so sorry guys, but I just thought at least if I can come in for half an hour, you know, because it's just a bit of a busy week this week.
No, I appreciate it, Sally. Thanks.
Okay, Sally.
And appreciate your support.
Good.
Thanks.
Take care. Have a good night. Yeah.
Bye.
See ya.
So Jeffrey, what about you with one-to-ones? Like, do you book one-to-ones or don't you?
Yeah, my question is, so I understand the question, are we talking one-on-ones from groups? Are we talking one-on-ones where I'm marketing to try and get a one-on-one?
Well, normally when you're in a group, like for example, like I in the few of the other meetings we've had where we've had, you know, a bigger group, I'd encourage everybody to reach out to other people that are attending and get a one-to-one with them so they get to know each other better, right? Now, and I will reach out, like in the list, if I go to any networking meetings, I will get a list of somebody and I'll send them an invite and say, would you like to do a one-to-one? They'll say yes, and then I'll immediately send them then my calendar and say, hey, here's my calendar, just book a time that's suitable to you. So I'm just wondering if you do that or...
No, I'm 2 or 3 reasons. One, I'm not a people person. You're probably more gregarious than me. I'm more of an introvert, believe it or not. I'm selective. I want to give and receive value. So, for example, I'd reach out to someone like you because I know you've got a wealth of knowledge. You've got a shitload of things I need to know, right? But I also know I can give some value. I can give something back, so I feel worthy, right?
Yep.
I don't reach out to people for free if I can't contribute something. That's to me. I'm a fair guy, right? If you're a podcaster, and I wanted to learn how to do podcasting, and I couldn't offer you anything, well, I'd have to pay, because you know, it's pay to play. You know what I mean? Like the motor mechanic giving your car a check over, you can't expect to drive your car down and say, oh, can you check my car for free? Make sure it's okay. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But a lot of people do expect it for free, sadly. But to answer your question, I've reached out to a couple of people from, or they've reached out to me as well, from Peter's show, and they've been great people. And one of them in particular, we meet once a week and share ideas, and we have about roughly an hour session. And I tend to talk too much, so we do it like half hour for him and a half hour for me. And the main thing we're working on together at the moment, having a bit of luck, is LinkedIn, because there's some I've got a LinkedIn expert, and there's some areas he doesn't know, and there's some areas I don't know. And I've got all this new, I'm happy to share it with you later, I've got all this new software, I've got a new learning curve. I became a partner of a software company with 20 different types of software. So imagine the learning curve there. And it is a learning curve. They say, they do things like, click here, just all you got to do is click here, go there, drop your mouse down here and click over here. Well, that's okay, you fucking designed it. You know, it's okay for you, I've never used it before, right? You know, so I want someone that goes a bit slower and takes you through it. But one of the ones is that Facebook, it's very good, that Facebook Friends Connector. And I'll give you an example of what I mean here. So this is a poor example. let's just say you sold golf carts, right? And they're $4,000 or $5,000 a pop, say these golf carts. You'd go into these golfing groups while you sleep, you press a button, and overnight while you sleep, it'll go in and connect you up with 200 to 300 people who play golf, right? So there's 300 you got, so let's call it 200 for a minute if you like. 200 times 5 days, you picked up 1,000 people who play golf in 1 week, right? And now you can reach out to those people and do your little dance, because you can't just call people, you know that. But you do a little dance, you know, I want to be your friend, blah, blah, blah. And then finally, hey, I've got some lovely golf carts and they're 40% off this month or whatever, yeah? So that's an example of how it can be used. Yeah, so this software is pretty amazing, and it also got another one called Friends Disconnector, because I'm at close to 5,000, which is the max, and of those 5,000, I told you they're all lurkers. You only get about 50 people engaged with you, so I'll be going through and wiping out a shitload and then going again and building it up. Yeah,
does it? I've got a couple of those packages as well, and they, like you say, they run in the background, which makes it easy. Like while you're asleep, and you get up in the morning, and you know then you can pick your mark and work out who you're going to have a chat with.
Yeah, what we'll have a chat one day. What I can do, I'm happy. Well, I tell people this, and people don't get it. I say if I buy software, not trying to rob anyone, but if you buy software for $100, and let's say it's a video program, well, why shouldn't I buy the competitor for $100? And then we share it. Now we got 2 programs. Because the first one, I'll make this up, your one doesn't do animations, but my one does. But my one doesn't do backdrops, and your one does. So we can help each other, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And then if we both spend 5,000 on software, we've now got 10 grand's worth of software. All that. A lot of people don't get that concept, so, you know, that's their problem.
Yep. Thanks, Jim. So, Ray, what's your attitude to one-to-ones? Like, do you reach out to everybody in the list when people say save the chat, or how do you approach it?
Very good question. Well, I save the chats, and then I work on it's either chemistry or catastrophe with people. And if I didn't like you, Jeff, I wouldn't make an appointment with you. Okay. And that's just the gut feeling thing.
Absolutely.
And I operate pretty much well on that, on lots of things. And then within the group, if there's just say like there was 4 of us on here, and I like the whole 4 of us, I'll book a one-on-one and say, well, let's what do we have to do to have a yarn and get to know a bit about each other. And if I didn't like Jeff, he wouldn't get hit, you know. As simple as that, and I find that works very, very well. And you probably find it works with you guys as well. You
better put your contacts in the chat, Jeff, because at the moment he can ignore you and you won't know it. So.
Yeah, I can put up with all that crap as well too. Yeah, but in general terms, when you get in, there's one group I go on that's in for my card. They have an open meeting like this sometimes, if there's only just 7 or 8 or a dozen, and we'll just share everything here together like we're doing now. Yep. And other times, if there's any more than that, they'll put you in a breakout room, you know. And so I quite like it both ways. In there, the breakout room and or the group.
I've got this recorded, Ray, and I can cut that bit out that says you like it both ways.
I thought of that. Ray, if you got
sounds like an all-male review here, Jeff.
Yeah.
Just watch out. Anything you say will be taken down and held in evidence against
you. A quick question, Ray. Have you got scars on your shins?
Have I got what?
Scars on your shins. I'm just curious. You know that one, do you?
But No, I have got a couple, but keep
All
going.
right.
I'll buy in. I'll buy in.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
that's from where you stick the back legs of the sheep into the gumboots.
I thought we have enough sheep shaggers here with the bloody Muslims coming here without having to bloody worry about us guys as shagging sheep. There you go.
Oh, geez. So what do you do at the moment, Ray, to keep warm if it's bloody 8 degrees in the van?
Well,
Jeff,
I got the heat. The heat. I had just to fill you in, Jeff. I'm caravanning around the country, so I'm in year 3, and it's just a fucking cold snap here, and I've had the heater on all day, and I'm in the bottom of the country, probably 46, 47 south or something, and
Don't go to Invercargill.
well, I'm just up the road from Invercargill at a place called Fort Rose.
Yeah, that's it. Arsehole of the world, Invercargill.
Yeah, so but it's been cold right from the get-go all day.
Yeah.
Yesterday was 22, 24 degrees. Now it's bloody 8, you know.
Yeah.
So anyway, I got 2 extra lumps in my throat. I haven't quite figured out what they are yet, but they'll survive. So you're in Manila, Jeff.
I am, yeah, having a wonderful time. I love it over here.
How long you been there?
This time 8 years, but basically in Asia. I was what I was doing. I had offices in different countries in Asia, and I was doing more or less a triangle. How I was going something like Philippines, apart from little side trips. I was doing Philippines, Malaysia, Thailand. They were my main ones, and I was doing side trips to say Singapore, Vietnam, China, but my 3 main bases were Bangkok, Malaysia, and here. And then I got very bloody lucky with this COVID thing. Here, you're allowed to stay here for 3 years before they throw you out. And it's funny, they're funny people. You can go out for a day, go to Hong Kong and have lunch, and come back, and the 3 years starts again. Right? They give you not actually a visa. You've got to keep renewing it every 6 months, but you got permission to stay here for 3 years without any drama. I love it. So my 3 years was almost up, and I was due to go to Malaysia. This is about the week that COVID raised its head, and I had a gut feeling. I just sheer bloody luck, no management. And I thought I don't think I'll go. I threw my ticket away, and fuck me dead. Next day they closed everything down. You couldn't travel, right? I would have been stuck in bloody Malaysia. And all my main infrastructure is here, you know.
Yeah.
So I got lucky. I dodged a bullet.
I got it made up in Cambodia, and Laos.
Yep.
And,
Yep. Nice part of the world. Yeah.
He's Australian, but he's been all his life basically in New Zealand. Calls himself a bloody Anzac. Anyway, he went back to Melbourne to do some get a bit of extra bucks. Him and his partner got it sort of a guest lodge up there. And he got trapped for 15 bloody months in Melbourne.
Oh,
you know?
fuck. Yeah. I know. A few of my friends. I had a guy with a big agency with 60 staff in Cebu, and they can't run themselves. You've got to have a big boss, right? Simple as that. And he went back to Hawaii and got caught, and like me, lost everything. Lost a lot.
Yeah, I've been to Manila in 1997. You know, I was 3 months over in Bangkok. In the
They're both good.
year.
They're both good, aren't they? They're both good.
Yeah, they're both good. The 3 months in Bangkok was a cultural experience. It was very good.
It's a real eye opener. People don't believe. You walk out your door. If you were in the middle of Bangkok, you walk out the door and there's just music and vibe everywhere. There's an atmosphere everywhere you go. It's alive. You feel it makes us old guys. You feel alive, don't you? The moment you walk out the door, right? Whereas back in Melbourne or Australia or something, you think, what the fuck, you know, what's meat pies and football? That's about it.
So where you from originally?
I'm an old ex Adelaide boy, but I got smart there. I got out when I was 21, never to return. Then I went to Queensland. I've been all over. I lived all over Australia basically, apart from Perth. And then I did New Zealand for a few weeks. I come over there where you are, and I hired had a great time. I hired a mobile home, and went all the way down to Invercargill. And the place that shocked me, I've never been, but it reminded me of Switzerland. It was the most beautiful place I've ever seen. When I come around the bend, I wasn't expecting it, was Queenstown. It's so bloody beautiful. You know, with the lake, with the lakes and the snow-capped mountains.
And there's plenty of sheep there if you want to wear gum boots as well.
Yeah, fair enough. No, I didn't need it. I didn't need any sheep. There were plenty of. We used to park outside the disco. There were plenty of takers. Plenty of takers.
Anyway, so just changed to one to Fred. I want to have a chat with you, not tonight, because I'm going to bugger off to bed in a minute. I need to get a bit of strategy stuff coming, because I got my new signs and a bit of artwork being done, and I need to sit down and put some shit together, because I'm sick of pushing shit uphill with the bloody rake in a lot of areas, and so we can make this whole fucking thing work. So anyway, I'll bugger off, Jeff, and I'll leave you two to shoot the breeze.
All right, just sing out when you're ready, Ray. Just, you know. We'll set up a time.
I'm going to shift. I'm shifting Thursday up country. I'm getting a diesel heater put in the caravan instead of the gas heater, and I might find a little lamb on the way. Anyway, so I'll see you later.
Good. See you, Mary.
Okay.
Thanks for joining, Ray. Appreciate
All right,
your help.
guys. See ya.
Thanks for the support. Thanks, care, buddy. Bye.